Hello once again. Welcome to this spiritual learning.
The United States has announced a major escalation in the Gulf region. U.S. Central Command says it will begin enforcing a maritime blockade on Iranian ports starting Monday morning, following orders from President Donald Trump. Officials say all vessels heading to or from Iran could be intercepted, regardless of nationality. However, traffic through the Strait of Hormuz to other destinations will remain open. The move comes after U.S.-Iran talks ended without a final agreement, raising tensions in one of the world's most critical shipping routes.
There's one country that has more oil than Iran and is open for business. As soon as Donald Trump blockaded the Strait of Hormuz and shut off the supply of Iranian oil, the entire world turned to the United States of America.
A ship tracking firm reports 121 empty oil tankers are making their way to the United States of America. 68 of those 121 vessels are very large crude carriers capable of carrying 2 million barrels apiece. President Trump has urged countries squeezed by Iran's disruption of the Strait of Hormuz to turn to American energy supplies instead. Well, it would appear perhaps they are obliging him. The president told Fox, quote, China can send their ships to the U.S., China can send their ships to Venezuela, while also saying that empty oil-carrying ships from many nations are all headed to the U.S. to load up.
So President Donald Trump has not only shut down Iranian oil supply, but he's diverted all of the Iranian oil customers, all those tankers that would be going to the Strait of Hormuz. Now they're coming to the United States. And not only is Iran losing out on whatever tariffs or tolls they thought they might charge people, not only are they losing out on the money that they were going to get, but we're getting it. Iran will be totally bankrupt because their number one economic driver, their number one export is oil. And now those empty oil tankers, 121 of them, aren't going to Iran. They're coming to the United States, and we've got plenty of oil, and we're open for business, and nobody's blockading us, and we're not charging any tolls. So Iran loses once again. And this is something I have to imagine President Donald Trump had planned for if Iran started to mess with the Strait of Hormuz. Shut it down entirely, tell everyone.
Breaking news, the newly elected supreme leader of the IRGC Islamic regime is believed to have passed away from his injuries. Mujtaba Khamenei is the son of Ali Khamenei, the late supreme leader of the Islamic regime who massacred the Iranian people. This is Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf. He is one of the last members of the IRGC. He is also the guy that goes to the negotiations. Now, there's a leaked audio file from this guy that says, or confesses rather, that Mujtaba Khamenei is dead and this is not good for our negotiations. Have a listen and please share this so everybody knows. Thank you.
Thousands of pro-government demonstrators rallied in Tehran tonight to denounce President Trump's partial blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. Iran calls the move an act of piracy. This is what Iranians are angry about. The U.S. military has an armada of warships with thousands of troops on board positioned just outside the Strait of Hormuz, ready to strike any vessel attempting to dock at or depart from the Iranian mainland. The strategy in Hormuz, a vital artery for about 20% of the world's oil, appears similar to the one Trump has used against alleged drug traffickers from Venezuela and Colombia, the U.S. military destroying their boats without warning. According to U.S. Central Command, the blockade in Hormuz only applies to Iranian ships and those loading and unloading in Iran. The goal is to pressure Iran and stop it from exporting oil, its main export, much of it going to Asia. And so far, it appears to be working. A marine tracking website showed the strait today effectively empty, with at least 2 ships approaching Hormuz and then seeming to think the better of it, making sharp U-turns.
Right now we have a blockade. They're doing no business.
President Trump imposed the partial blockade after peace talks with Iran, led by Vice President Vance, ended without a deal this weekend. When the partial blockade went into effect at 10 this morning, oil prices jumped and the U.S. stock market dropped. But markets rallied after President Trump suggested a new round of negotiations with Iran may be coming.
We've been called this morning by the right people, the appropriate people, and they want to work a deal.